Blub blub everyone, welcome back to Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. We are in Sewell's tomb, or we actually have access now, which is interesting. No one dead rushing me? Okay. We still have two dudes. They should be here. Yep, there they are. We had a conversation with Arthur, and he told us, well, he knows this place, and here's where the idea how to get rid of the Four Dwellers got shaped. But also it doesn't feel like a tomb and I should be careful, so let's be careful. I need to head home, I'm getting bored, so I'm gonna go on my PS portal for the time being and then I'm gonna head home. Well, see you then, Dark Shadow. It's nice having ya. Hope you had fun. Even though you were getting bored. What? Did they use the Red Plague the Red Death to kill the Four Dwellers? I mean, that is a way of warfare. It's not a good one. And it might bite them in the ass right now. Hey Dolphin, how you doing? Blub blub. The hotness. Barely legible ancient scroll. And thus spake Arthur. Spake? Isn't it spoke? Spake? I think that's a typo. Sewell, this land I do give unto thee, to govern and protect, for thy courage and wisdom shall be the foundation of the south. A mighty fortress shalt thou raise, and defend the south with all thy strength, that thy stronghold may be equal in greatness to Camelot. Guard the south with thy valiant breast. Ah, with thy breast. As thou hast guarded me. I now journey north, for those lands do call for my aid. Let my faithful Merlin aid thee with counsel in this darkest of hours. And Sewell didst reply, this Merlin is thy right hand, my lord, and his will I shall take as thine own. Doubt not my loyalty, O king, I shall do as thou hast asked. And Arthur did depart for the north, leaving his servant Merlin by Sewell's side, and the sorcerer illegible. Okay, so he did something. Then Merlin took a great cauldron, black as the night, and Sewell once more took the first step, as he did in days of yore, when first he set foot upon the shores of Avalon. And thus was the will of destiny fulfilled. Interesting. Arthur's testament. As Sewell proved himself to be the highest loyalty, and the horns of the south are equal to Camelot, it is my will that Excalibur be guarded by the keepers of the south after my death. Let my sword rest in the courtyard of the horns as a testament to the eternal friendship between our houses. In times of distress, my sword shall be drawn, but only by the one who proves themselves worthy. I entrust the secret of how to prove one's worth to the captain and urge all captains that come after to pass on this knowledge to their successors, unless they just get killed, because that could happen. Until comes the day when the worthy one appears, which will be us, and the secret is revealed to them. So help me, All Mother, and all the gods of the homelands. This is not a tomb. This is a breeding ground. Of something. Oh my god, this is Sewell, isn't it?
You are not him. You are different.
Who are you?
I am Sewell Firstfoot, the one who scouted the land before the traitor Arthur set foot on it.
The traitor? No, he's a traitor. Traitor?
I was loyal. I was devoted. Arthur wanted more. Arthur betrayed me.
The founder of the Horns of the South?
It is my legacy. The jewel of the South. The safe haven of honorable men.
Oh, not for a long time, buddy. A lot has changed.
I've been here for so long. It doesn't matter anymore.
Why did One Eye reseal your tomb?
Galriata promised me revenge. They understand what happened here. Everyone who comes here has the right to ask.
Were you cloned? Or maybe Arthur was? Tell me what happened.
I was the most loyal of Arthur's men. I was the first to go ashore and take on any danger that might arise in this new and unfamiliar
God.
land.
You stepped off a boat, buddy. It's not that much of a grandiose deed.
Then came the war.
So
I
weird.
fought by his side, shielded him with my own body. I trusted him.
I find it so weird. Oh, I was the first off the boat because I stood in front of all the other men. You know? Wow. What a deed. Amazing guy. Tell ya.
But Arthur wanted more. Arthur longed to possess a power equal to that of our enemies.
That makes sense, yes.
So Merlin decided our king must first become immortal.
And that's through you?
Could he achieve greatness? But Merlin needed volunteers. Trusted people to go first to make sure that his methods were effective, so we wouldn't risk Arthur's life in trying to grant him immortality.
I mean, and you did do that, okay? So, where's the problem? I mean, you seem very immortal.
They thought I had died, so they buried me.
You counted on Arthur to make sure you were dead and he left you?
Arthur's greed and Merlin's obsession made me what I am now. Arthur should have made sure. They thought I was dead, but I heard everything. I know there were others after me. I know that the king didn't hesitate to do anything to achieve his goal.
Wouldn't be the first one.
Experimented on all the knights, abusing their oath. He told them it was for the greater good. Their lives, our lives, meant nothing to him.
Which sucks, definitely. But I mean, how does that make him different from any other king? Or aristocrat, for that matter. Or authoritarian leader, which is all the same thing. So, how are you surprised about that? I mean, he was your king. Since when did kings give a shit about their subjects? I don't know how it's supposed to prove Camelot's treachery, yeah, as well. Just because they buried you here? Maybe Merlin did? On whose orders? I mean, kind of. It's still a betrayal. He should give a shit about his subjects. That's the contract, right? But it's not surprising to me that he didn't. I don't think it's good. I don't think that's how it should be. Don't want to say that, but it's not surprising to me that he didn't give a shit about you guys. You know? You were soldiers. You're literally just a weapon. You're literally just a dude with a weapon in hand, and if you fall, you're dead, and who cares? Whatever, next guy. So, you know, that's how war works. So how do you feel I mean, I know how you feel betrayed, but how are you surprised about that betrayal? People. Oh, I was such a loyal subject. Yeah, they don't give a shit. I mean, I'm gonna go with this one. It's not what I really mean. It's not where's the betrayal. It's more like where's the surprise. The king did what he deemed necessary to win the war. That is what it should say. Not betrayal here. It should be surprise. How are you surprised that A, he didn't give a shit about you, and B, he did what he deemed necessary to win a war? It's all together is that here, actually.
Arthur doomed his people to eternal suffering. Their names forgotten.
Not really.
Their loyalty abused.
I grant you that, but at least your name is not forgotten. You have a freaking statue in the main court. So... And everyone is telling you, you even have a fucking museum. Your name is not forgotten. I mean, maybe the others. I grant you that too. It's fine. And also that loyalty was abused. Also makes sense. But still, not everyone's name has been forgotten. We have to give him that.
He sacrificed the lives of the noblest of men. And this is the greatest possible betrayal.
And how does one I want to help you? Kill you? I can do that too.
We cannot be helped. We cannot be killed.
Yeah, if you ash, you won't come back.
The Dauriata promised to burn down Camelot. Avenge the memory of all my brothers.
How does that change anything? Or help with anything? You'll still be immortal.
Camelot was built on betrayal. People have the right to live in truth. When Camelot falls, we will finally be free.
Okay, it was built on betrayal. Sure. What does it have to do with whatever living in truth means? That is unrelated. That's not opposites of each other. Betrayal and truth are not, you know, that they have nothing to do with each other. You can be betrayed by the truth if you were thinking something else before, or, you know, if you were convinced something else is true, and then you get the truth, you might feel betrayed. Probably by the people who told you the bullshits, like, you know, you're a flat earther and finally realize that you're an idiot. And that flat earth is bullshit. You know, that would be betrayal by the people who told you that was correct. While the truth is something else that has nothing to do with each other, though. When Camelot falls, we will finally be free. Sure, if you think so.
Let the dead leave this one.
No, that makes sense. Whispers. So, I think this dialogue was all over the place a little bit. I know what they were going for. I don't think their words were used well in that circumstance. And I also don't think how that changes anything for them. For all of these dudes. And apparently he's the only one who moves, so maybe he's the only one who's actually immortal apart from Arthur. Which we know who is kind of... Is she immortal? He still needs to be revived after he dies, so he's not really immortal. Apparently you're the only immortal one.
Camelot falls.
That makes no sense. How would you be free? Free from the oppression, sure, but you're not free. You can't leave. Makes no single difference. And yeah, these guys are definitely not immortal. I mean, this guy could be, but this guy, unless he's just, I'm done. It's just, yeah, like a fish. Okay. Because that's not a position a normal person would ever be in, really. If they're not dead. Can't kill that. Oh, very sad. I mean, that's probably... That looks very dead, too. 1 second. Okay, all good. All good. Okay, so we learned something. Not much, I fear. Okay, they did experiments to make Arthur immortal. Okay. Still weird to me. How that is actually betrayed. Oh, look at that. More fight. That's probably with the undead here. Hey, let's get a third one. Just in case.
And? What do you think?
Okay, what does it claim to be? I mean, honorable, I guess, which wasn't honorable, for sure. It didn't respect his people. But I'm still very confused. I don't know what that really was supposed to prove. These make no sense to me. I want a middle one. Explain to me what you mean. What should that prove?
Well, look at it this way. Seawall, the founder of the famous stronghold in the south, Arthur's legendary aide, and his trusted friend in reality, meant nothing to him.
I mean, you could see the other way around. He made him immortal. Yes, it could have been going wrong. But But also, 1 second, guys.
I feel bad for him, you know, when I think about it, 600 years spent in a tomb, fully aware.
Yeah, I mean, that is horrible. Yeah, that's horrifying. Absolutely.
But what does it matter? I mean, perhaps it doesn't matter to you or me, but there are people who'll be shattered by it.
Yeah, but who cares about them? It's about Sewell. It's not about them. Who cares what they think? That doesn't mean anything. Yes, they will also feel that that this was an injustice. Sure, totally is, and it is. But the point is a different one. And a very personal one. He trusted him that he sees him as a friend, and but he also, from what we've read in that document, he did it on his own free will, and he knew it was an experiment, that it could go wrong or that it could go right, and he accepted that. That is still not a betrayal then, because he was informed, he wasn't forced, right? I mean, it's a very gray area in a way, but also, I don't see the really big betrayal here. Yes, it wasn't great, and yes, it was a bad thing to do, and all of those things. Ethical, definitely not. But I don't see the really big betrayal here.
It'll open their eyes and disprove everything they believed in until now.
He didn't grab them out of their beds in the mid of night and put them in these things and, you know, just did experiments on them. They were asked to volunteer. And if they wouldn't have, they probably wouldn't have been experimented on, right? I mean, it actually shows that you shouldn't be blindly trusting someone. Ever. Anyone. Doesn't matter. And especially not your king.
I couldn't come up with it if I tried. I didn't even have to try, because it's all true to some extent.
To some extent, okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I really think that. It is not as clear-cut. Again, it wasn't right, but also, there is no big betrayal here, in my opinion. I mean, there's a small betrayal, surely. And also that he just discarded them in a way, and didn't make sure, I guess, that they're dead. Huh? But someone found them at some point. And what did he do? He put them in a tomb, like any soldier would be. Put in a tomb. It's very weird what they want to say here. I don't think it's as clear-cut.
Oh, maybe not. But who cares what actually happened?
I think now we're getting to the point for you.
At first glance, it's proof enough of how corrupt Camelot is.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and also it was the king, it wasn't Camelot. I mean, not the Camelot from now. It was the king 600 years ago. So, it's also not the same. Camelot might still be very corrupt right now. But that doesn't mean both of these occurrences are connected. It can have become corrupt over the years in other ways. I mean, maybe they're experimenting on people still. Who knows? We need to be there. Let me get there. Let me see it. And we'll decide then. But now?
How Arthur used his most loyal friend, the founder of the Horns of the South, for his own gain. How he doomed him to eternal suffering.
Yeah, but that wasn't the intention. It was an experiment, they said. And they told them. I mean, Merlin was experimenting. They said, okay, let's go.
Who cares if it's true? Can't you see how powerful this message is?
Yeah, but that's the point. Of course it needs to be true. You asshole. You just want to use that as propaganda.
Even if it's just a fable, it's a different fable than the one we've already been told, eh?
But what if what you've been told was actually the truth? Then it's not a fable. So you're replacing the truth with a fable. Thought about that? And that's called propaganda, right there.
It's definitely more powerful than all the hogwash we've been fed for all these years.
I mean, I guess, but what are you... Okay, what is this guy trying to do in the end? Because he's already in outright rebellion, right? He killed one of the knights, one of the it's like killing killing one of the dukes under the king, you know? That is outright rebellion. That is depends, of course. If you do it as an individual, it's a crime and you will be beheaded probably or something. If you do it as a group of people, that's called rebellion. And treason and all those things, and depending, but, you know, rebellion is treason. In that way. According to the feudal contract, but... What now? Why did you want me to see this, then?
Now we found ourselves in what I'd probably call a clusterfuck.
Yeah, and since the gate is closed behind you, I know where we're going. I murder you too now. Tell me about Excalibur, and then I can murder you.
Somehow you unwittingly became the most important person in the region, because your decision will change how the entire situation unfolds.
I'm afraid of that,
See,
yeah.
The boys from the Horns of the South are split down the middle. Some will back me, but others won't, understand what I'm trying to do. The latter,
I don't understand what you're trying to do.
The traditionalists, and they know me a little bit too well.
Uh-huh. See, that is already a red flag, buddy, in terms of, oh, they know how corrupt I am.
If I came to them with this revelation, they'd think it was a conspiracy. But if someone from the outside, someone Feargas trusts, steps in and convinces him, you see where I'm going with this.
Uh-huh, and I don't like it. It very much looks like a conspiracy to me, too. I mean, we have some proof of things, yes. But you want to spin it further. If it's true or not, you said so yourself. That's called a conspiracy, dude.
Talking to you is like talking to a herring. Let me be blunt. It is a conspiracy. But it doesn't matter what it is or how it looks like, so long as it works.
No, that's not how it works, buddy.
Our only hope for the future, for any future, is aligning with the Dalrita. In order for this to happen, the Keepers need to see how rotten Camelot is.
But they don't. They only see the picture you're spinning in your yarn fabrication manufactory. But... See, if they had a real reason, a reason I could stand behind, I would definitely help them. But with this? With that thin of a crust on top of their shit cake? Really?
Is it rotten now? Yes, definitely. Was it rotten in the times of the king? I don't care. But the hope that it was, the ideal that people cling to, that's what people still believe in.
I mean, I do get that. And we only know this from what we heard. We don't know if it is. We don't know what's actually happening. And what we get from Galahad's conversation, at least, is they are building this lighthouse not just for the fun of it. They're not pumping money in here just because they need something to do. The first time now we have heard why that lighthouse is being built. No one else had any idea. It's actually being built as a second menhir, because the first one already acts like one, to protect this area from the weirdness. That does not sound that corrupt to me and rotten, because they did care about this region, or at least about the fort. I mean, I don't know how big that protection would be, if that's the whole region or just the fort or whatever. Doesn't matter, because they are actually doing something to at least alleviate the situation. Maybe not preventing it, because they have no clue. No one has one so far. And I hope with the Alchemy Guild we will get into that direction, because that's my personal hope in this story, that there is something there that we could discover and get some way of fighting against that weirdness, or at least understand it enough to maybe see that it doesn't have to be forward, and that it's maybe something else or something, you know? But this is the first sentence that actually makes some sense.
And that faith is precisely what needs to be torn out of their hearts if we're to see any tomorrow. So, what's it gonna be? Will you help me save the South?
But I don't like to do it with propaganda, buddy. If it would be the truth that you're telling them, I'd be behind that, because they deserve the truth. And if that erodes their faith in the old picture that they had of Camelot, that would be fine. Because they would base it on solid ground, not on some bullshit you're spouting. I'm not sure what this does, actually. Does that end the quest line? Does that change the outcome? I mean, probably. Will you help me save the South? Do I care that much about the South? I mean, I care about the people in here that are trying to make a living, but I mean, it's like a handful of people, or maybe, you know, let it be 40 people or something that live here. And what they're actually talking about is open rebellion. Well, they're already in open rebellion, basically. If Camelot knows this, that the army is not going to be far away, at least if they're smart, because that can't stand what we did. What I did, oh god. I'm not even part of this kingdom as far as I know. Who knows? Who knows where I'm from? I mean, I'm existing in it, therefore I'm part of the kingdom, right? But, I don't know. Any opinions? In chat, maybe? I actually have no clue what to take here. I'd really like to say I don't care about the South that much. That much, with very much emphasis on that. I do care about the South, but not that much. To do this bullshit, and again, propaganda. I'm going my own way. I just don't know what I'm going my own way means. Will things happen now, and I'm just doing my own thing, going somewhere else, and who cares? And what does it mean when I say, when we put it that way, I will help you? This is not an informed decision, again, because I cannot even glimpse at the circumstances that will happen. Give me 1 second. I'm going to decide, and it's not going to be a good one, I think. I mean, none of these are good. I think. And I'm not going to say this because I think Camelot should not be burnt down. It depends on how shitty that is, and sometimes, you know, tabula rasa is helpful. And starting anew. And it's also not that I don't care about the South that much. I just want to be involved in this bullshit. I just don't want to be involved in the propaganda. And I don't think I will say this one. I think I will go say this one. None of these choices... I did read up on this choice. And apparently... this is still the Galahad choice, even though I killed him. I don't know why. And what they said is, this will bring stability to the region, but everything will be a little uneasy and awkward. And this will not bring stability, but everyone will be a bit more hopeful, which is great and all, but they also fall into propaganda. And it's still not the truth. The truth is much more, you know, but much less clear-cut and much more varied. I think I'm going to go with this because, only because of the second part of the sentence, I don't want to be involved in your conspiracy bullshit.
And here I thought we'd see eye to eye. Fine. Do what you want.
I mean, I would if you had something substantial and something real.
I'll handle this without you. But don't expect that pin to keep currying favor with the Horn to the south.
I don't give a shit. I could burn that keep to the ground on my own now. You're forgetting something, Excalibur.
But you're right. A deal is a deal. There's a broken gong nearby. Find a way to repair it.
Got it.
And when you do, use it. That's all I promised to tell Caradoc. And that's all you'll hear from me. How you'll enter the Horns to get anywhere near Excalibur when I'll order my boys to shoot you on sight. Well, that's up to you.
Fine.
Now, farewell. I've got a little revolution to get underway.
Quest failed. Okay, that sucks. I don't like that. I don't like that that fails the quest. That should not fail the quest. Because either decision is still part of the quest. I don't like that. And I don't want to have a failed quest. I'm gonna go with him then. That is a little bullshitty to me. And in my opinion, completely wrong. That they would fail you that quest. Because it still drives the plot forward. It still thinks us to... Oh, no, that's the wrong one. There it is. I don't understand why you would fail that quest. But okay, I'm gonna go with him. You know my opinion on this.
And?
Be right back.
What do you think?
Okay, we're back. Sure I will.
That's what
You
I
know my
wanted
opinion,
to
it's
hear.
bullshit.
I knew I could count on you. Go talk to Feargas.
I hate
Get
you.
him to visit this place. After you're done, please visit me in the temple. I just hope Feargas shows some sense and doesn't let his pride take over.
I don't think the going your own way should fail the quest. Maybe it should end this quest and start a new one. Like, how do I get into the keep without being murdered? Also, these guys are annoying me now. Since I know this is not sequence breaking. I'm just gonna burn them to the ground. Can't really do real damage to them. Which seems a little weird. Can burn them, but... I find it very weird. I think they should have attacked me before. And that this is kind of a bug. But let's just burn them down real quick. Okay, yeah, look at that. They're not even real enemies. Even though they are enemies. Interesting. Can't loot them. I did do some considerable damage there for a second. And I do get XP from them, but I can't loot them. Weird. Okay. Let's go. So, I don't think the game is bad because of that quest or anything. Or how it turned out. I just think they wanted to be vague and gray zone and stuff, and they didn't get the point across enough. And didn't give you the decisions that I think would be prudent there and would make sense. Which is a little sad, but I do like that we know now. That is kind of nice. And otherwise we would need to kill the whole camp here. Okay. I'm sorry. It's weird that they can bleed. And how my dudes are just standing in front of them and, you know, look stupid. Okay, let's get in. So I think they could have done that better. In a more sensible way. But it is interesting how they did that and what they did. Oh, come on, because I'm... yeah, of course. It's my bedtime. Hello, Fergus. Unfortunately, I have to lie to you now. Discovered something you need to know.
And here I thought the Horns of the South had no secrets left to hide from me.
And see, I feel wrong doing this now, which is not good.
Me.
Soul's Tomb has a hidden entrance. You can meet him there.
I ever mentioned I'm not a big fan of your sense of humor? Now, tell me what you really want, or walk away. In silence, preferably.
If you prefer to stay ignorant, that's your choice. Oh, it's so dumb. It's true Merlin experimented on Sewell, so he never died. Yeah, that's literally... that is truth. That is the truth. That is what happened. What's also truthful is that Sewell did it willingly. Therefore, no real betrayal. Because if you willingly join an experiment in which you could die or become immortal and then complain because you are immortal, then you're an idiot.
This isn't funny. I'm no Galahad, burning people at the stake for heresy, but I don't appreciate this kind of behavior either. Still, judging by the look on your face, you actually believe you've stumbled onto something important. All right then. I'll go and check it out. See what's got you so worked up. It might even be nice to get out of here for a change.
Okay.
I saw what you wanted me to see. We need to talk. Honestly, I'm not sure what to think. Everything I believed has been seriously challenged.
Why?
I need some time to get used to it.
I still don't see it. I still don't see why that is now the big challenge for your beliefs. But also, it's very unclear what they believe. That Camelot and Arthur is honorable. Okay. It's dishonorable that that guy had to endure this torture of 600 years. Yes, of 600 years existence in that egg. But also, it's more of an honest mistake because they thought he was dead. And they apparently didn't catch that he wasn't. I'm not sure why no one ever went into that tomb, but if you think someone is dead, why would you go into a tomb, right?
Why did you show this to me?
Unless you show, unless you want to show your, I don't know, your respect from them or something in a specific way, or you mourn them very, very much. But even if you show your respect for them, the tomb was sealed. So no one could get into that, not even if they wanted to, until these seals were broken recently. Well, quote-unquote recently, I don't know, maybe I was 10 years ago or something.
Because it could be that I'd be better off not knowing. What they did to Sewell is unthinkable and absolutely unforgivable.
See, and I don't see that. Why is that I mean, it's not been done on purpose. The experiments were done on purpose. From what we know. Sealing him immortal in there forever, from what Sewell said himself, they thought he was dead, was not intentional, and how can it then be unforgivable? I mean, what he had to endure is unforgivably cruel, but there was no intention to torture him that way, so... It has been an accident. A really, really shitty one. A disgusting one, yes. But it's not an act of betrayal. I don't know.
What will the other keepers say? What will happen to the Horns of the South? And what about Camelot?
And surely I wouldn't want to be in that situation. Of course. But also he wanted to do that experiment himself.
Everything we believed was a lie.
I mean, unless he was just ordered by the king, you do that, you're the first. But I doubt that. It didn't sound that way. What you believed and what you did with that belief are two different, entirely different things. You should put your faith in the future, not your past. I mean, that is probably, yes, true. But also, I don't want to say faith, but also, yeah. What you believed and what you did with that belief are two different, entirely different things. I'm not sure how that is meant. I'm not sure how that is meant. It could be meant like, okay, you did believe these things, but your deeds were not based on that belief. It could also mean, well, you did some really shitty things still, and that had nothing to do with what you believed. I don't know how that's meant. Something like your deeds are your own in a way? And just because you believed a thing doesn't make that, doesn't devalue that, you know? I think this fits.
You're right. In the end, it doesn't matter what Camelot was back then. What matters is what we are now, and we did everything in our power to keep the South safe, and to keep our lighthouse on through every storm. But this will be the end of the Horns of the South. No young man will join our ranks when hundreds of years of our history are gurgling down the drain.
Not necessarily. No, don't create a new myth. That's exactly what you shouldn't do. How about create some integrity? Not a myth? Idiots. Oh, it's so dumb. That's exactly what's wrong about this shit. A myth is just a myth. It doesn't mean shit. Fine.
Any ideas?
No. No, none ideas. No. You're the fortress that stood up against Camelot's corruption and got rid of Galahad. You're the ones who found a way to forge peace with the tribes. Nobody believed it was possible. You didn't let the past break you, and you decided to remake your own future. I mean, these do sound good, but why are they myths? It's just, yeah, I know why they're myths, but... And none of those are really true. Because they didn't forge peace between the tribes. I did. And the tribes did, basically. You didn't do shit, and your captain also didn't do really much. You're the fortress that stood up against No. I mean... This sounds more like grounded in reality, in a way. Because right now they decide that they want to have a future and how that future should be shaped. I don't know why the past would break you. I mean, yes, this knowledge, I guess, but... I think we're gonna go with this.
It sounds better than the alternative. That we're a bunch of fools believing in children's fables of knightly honor, valor, and purity.
Why don't you make your own game, Gary? Then you can be as thorough as you need to be. That is not the point. It has nothing to do with thoroughness. It has to be. It has to do with a plot making sense. None of this makes sense. And it's not that much of a critique, really. It just annoys me a bit because they are so close. They are really close. But how they made this happen just wasn't how it should be, in my opinion, for this to make sense. And write the plot yourself. Yeah, sure. They pay me.
We'll have to give everyone some hope to cling to after the truth about Seawall comes out.
It's just as your character. This, in my opinion, this doesn't make sense.
All right. I assume Brandon put you up to this, so you can go and congratulate him.
I didn't even have a choice with this.
He won.
Is the problem. I had to do this now. I had to make up this new myth. If I wanted to or not, because otherwise the quest would fail. And I would be an enemy of these people, which... Is that really sensible? Just, oh, you don't want to be with our conspiracy? Now we kill you. What? Just saying, oh yeah, you do your thing, that's not my path. Oh yeah, now you need to die. It's like I murdered someone right now, because then they would put me down. If I murder someone in cold blood, and not defending myself, they would kill me so instantly. That's what actually this guy here said to me when I first arrived here. And then they treat me the same because I said, your bullshit doesn't make sense. No, I don't want to. Great stuff.
I'll support this case, if only for the
Not
safety and
sensible.
well-being of our boys. I don't have to like it one bit, but I can try to make it easier for the garrison.
Okay. I still think that could have been handled differently. To be more, you know... I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just... I don't even think this is bad. The way it goes now. I just think there was a path missing. You know? A path for you to go. That is missing. And I think that would have made this really good. It's way too binary for me. With too little information, of course, and that is fine. Not every decision has to be in full with all the information. I would prefer it, because I like to make informed decisions, not just, you know, bullshitting each other. Like these guys do to me right now, or to our character. And I mean, even the captain only admitted that it was literally a conspiracy after we called him out on it. At least he did, and didn't bullshit his way out of that. But that I as the character cannot say, I don't want to be with a conspiracy. It's also a little, whatever. It's fine. It is how it goes. It is how they decide it has to be, and we'll accept that right now. I mean, I'm going through with this, so... Let's see what this will lead to. Yeah, we need to go back there. Just keep in mind, I'm not really happy with this. Not because of the outcome, but because of how we got there. The how we got there... The outcome doesn't really matter right now. But the how we got there could have been... Could have made more sense. Or could have been delivered in a better way that you know, your character, that you could actually play your character in a way. And I see Garrett more like going similar friend of those. What the hell? Towards reason. Yes, even though she has a lot of spirituality, weirdly. But so far, the druids seemed still... The druid and the alchemist guild seemed the only people with actual reason in here. In this whole mess. Literally the only ones. Even though the druids did the blood lake thing and stuff, you know, the garden nonsense. That's something else, you know. I don't think that's what the druids represent. Or at least... You know, that's definitely not how most of them would be.
What news do you bring? Did you talk to Fergus?
Fergus Soul's tomb? He seems pretty shaken.
Just as I expected.
And it feels very much like we're just doing his agenda. And that's about it.
I do feel for the boy. He really loved Camelot. Probably the last truly loyal keeper. But he had to know the truth. I knew his honor wouldn't let him hide it from the others in the horns. Nicely done.
Yeah, and you're very not honorable. And that's also a problem. This guy, it's this guy's plan. And this guy is literally as corrupt as anyone in Camelot could be. We have multiple instances that we now know about him. One of them being his own admittance that if he comes up with this, or he confronts people with this, they would just, you know, see it as a conspiracy because they know him. Big red flag. And I don't think he is to be trusted or a better alternative to the corrupt Camelot. I think it's literally just exchanging one for the other, and it's just the same thing. What now?
Now, I'll get one eye, and together we'll go to the horns with the good news.
No, first you tell me what
Not
Excalibur
everyone will
again.
be happy about it. Well, that's for me to deal with. Those who don't support us will be released from their oath, and I'll ensure they're safe until they leave the south. After that, whatever they choose to do is up to them.
Excalibur, buddy. What I do like about this is that this plays a lot with
Brothers,
the stupidity of people.
a new chapter in the history of the Horn to the south. Today, we put an end to fear and poverty.
Sure. How will you do that? Who knows? Who cares? Oh yeah. How will you do this, buddy? No word about that. Just
I understand your pain. I know you feel helpless in the face of the looming terror of the weirdness. Camelot has abandoned us, brothers. For years, they've given us no aid. All they do is take our resources, send us to senseless slaughter, and keep us in the dark.
which will not change.
Camelot doesn't see us as equals. They've forgotten Seawall Firstfoot's legacy and the promise King Arthur made to us.
That's
We
true,
were
though.
meant to stand as equals. We were meant to be just as powerful as them.
I don't think power
All
makes any
this
difference here.
time, do you know what they've done to the founder of the Horns of the South? For over 600 years, Seawall has been alive, forgotten by King Arthur and all of Camelot. You don't have to take my word for it. Seawall's tomb is open. Go and see for yourselves. I say, enough. Enough of being fed a rotten myth that turned out to be one great lie. We swore loyalty to the torturers of one of the noblest knights to ever walk Avalon. I say, enough. We will no longer honor an oath made to dishonorable people. We won't let ourselves be exploited any longer. But, my brothers, I bring news. Galahad the Pure, the same Galahad who threatened to burn half our garrison at the stake, is dead.
An interesting summarization of all that happened.
Is our
Well, the
chance to
important
break
ones.
free from Camelot. Enough lies. No more risking everything for those who only know how to take.
So the Horns of the South will now be a separate
You're probably
nation.
wondering, how can we protect the South on our own? How can we defend ourselves when Camelot comes to reclaim their slaves? Yes, that's what we are to them. I know
Propaganda.
the lockdown of the fortress surprised you, and for that, I truly apologize, but it was necessary to keep you from attacking our new allies, the Del Rita tribes, led
Riata.
by One Eye.
Learn it.
I know, my brothers, I know.
The
This
choppiness
must be a
comes from me
shock,
clicking as well, guys.
Especially since I did not share my
Some of
plans
that.
with you earlier. But hear me out. Thanks to this alliance between the Horns of the South and the Dal Riada tribes, we are securing the safety of the South and our independence from Camelot.
The tribes will provide us with the military support our depleted ranks desperately need. The tribes will help us rid the South of the bandits who've plagued our people for years. Together, we'll share knowledge and resources to ensure a better future for all Southerners.
We will not drain your resources. In fact, we'll replenish your armories and fill your pantries. We'll stand together, fighting side by side to bring peace and order back to the South. In return, all we ask is your loyalty. If you see a brother from the Dal Riada fighting the Camelotian, stand with our brother. That's all.
Of course,
So,
if anyone
the new
isn't in
king.
favor of this alliance, you have the right to leave the service. I declare a new era for the Horns of the South. Those who don't wish to help build this future are released from their oath. To those who choose to stay, I promise a good life, and you won't face any more threats. Now, brothers, return to your duty
Yeah, sure.
and rest easy.
You know the
Horns of
surrounding
South will
area is riddled with
endure,
monsters.
and soon we'll be stronger than ever before.
That was a cool summary. I did like this. And this wasn't in when you passed this point, Monaway. Yeah, I assume so, because when I started this game first, I started... many of the things weren't in the asylum, I think. I think I was very quickly at the boat. If I remember correctly. And there were other people at the boat as well. It might have been that these people were there because I didn't find them as well. I think it was these two that were there. Maybe because I found them in the asylum this time, I didn't see them at the boat. Something, I don't know. I'm not sure how much was in there, is the point. Oh, and now he still has to tell me about freaking Excalibur, damn it. Is that questline, that unholy one, finally done? No. Now he needs to return the favor. Let's go. You bumhead. I did like the questline though. I did enjoy it, and it does make some sense. I just didn't like the way towards it in the end. That didn't make much sense to me. Or at least I would have wished for more control over this as a character, you know, for more control over what I'm doing here. Oh, look at that. We weren't able to go in here first for the longest time. Interesting. Well, because you were such an ass, I'm gonna go here first and see what I can do. Cider, that would be nice. Technically, I could steal all your cider, buddy. Empty chest, wow. Damn, these pictures are amazing. We saw another picture, I think in the museum. That was really good. But look at this. This is grand. What would happen if we do this? It does kinda capture the picture as well. Not that much though. That's also a really cool picture. Okay, well, tell me about Excalibur, I guess. Weirdstone. I have Weirdstone here. Done everything you asked for me, of me. Now my turn.
Matter. What do you need?
I want to become a keeper. I mean, we could, but no, Excalibur.
Right. See, the problem with Excalibur, or indeed any of King Arthur's blades, is that you need to prove you're worthy of wielding it. How are you supposed to do that? Hell knows. But if the pin that secured your entry to the Horns has led you here, I think I know what the one who gave it to you might have been thinking.
What do you mean?
You see, there are many different legends. According to one of them, there are a few places on Avalon where you can prove yourself worthy. Whatever that means.
Yeah, I even got monster entries from monsters I've already beaten a long time ago. Really? Okay. I'm off to bed. Well, have a good night, Manaway. We'll end soon as well, in a few minutes. I just wanted to get the Excalibur thing.
And one of those places, as you can probably guess, is nearby. Have you seen the old gong in the sunken village? Well, many years ago, when people still went to the woods for a shit instead of using a privy, it was part of a certain ritual. Only the people who passed the ritual could become keepers.
Uh-huh. What does this involve? There's something you're not telling me, yeah.
None of the living keepers were recruited that way, so we don't really know what happens during the ritual. That's why Galahad now appoints keepers and the captain chooses them. It's just safer that way. I only know that you need to sound the gong and then lie down to sleep at its base. If you wake up, I mean, when you wake up again in the morning,
okay.
You'll know you've been deemed worthy. Unfortunately, the gong is broken. So first, you'll need to find a way to fix it.
Okay, so
And
that
since
gateway
it's
is
made
the
of
gong.
weird steel, that's not going to be easy, is it? Fortunately, Oshbrit should be able to help you. A little bird told me he likes to play with weird steel when nobody's looking. Just tell him I sent you, and he won't give you any trouble.
If I wake up...
I'm not going to lie. From what I've heard, many people never woke up. They fell into eternal slumber, so... Well, that's why we abandoned the tradition. And those who woke up were... changed. And none of them ever wanted to say exactly what happened there.
I mean, you clearly were not chosen that way. Yeah, if all of those were worthy, why did none of them try?
Well, of course they tried. It turns out that the keepers who passed the ritual could hold it longer than anyone else. Maybe it'll be enough for what you need, and maybe something entirely different will happen. It's your risk and your decision.
What if it doesn't work?
Then you'll have to find someone smarter than me.
That's not
'Cause
hard.
I already told you everything I know. Go, and may the southern wind be in your favor. If you need anything from the old captain, you know where to find me.
Shadow of the Horns, level 26. Okay, Osprit. I'll talk to him. Got some points available. Don't think I need them right now, but... So we need to reforge the gong. That should hopefully not be that hard, since... I mean, there's probably some quest items that I need, right? But I have so much stuff that could probably make words steel.
What a nice day.
You're very loud. What do you think of Brandon Steele?
Riordan's back. And with the Dalrita, no less. Bold move. Let's hope he knows what he's doing. Or the keep's going to be in for one hell of a mess.
Oh yeah, a little siege. There's an ancient gong in the sunken village. Can you fix
Why would
it?
you want to fix it? Do you even know what it is?
Take
crazy.
some advice from an old man. If there's a giant, ancient statue that somebody tried to turn to dust, they must have had a good reason for it.
Need to repair to become a keeper?
Well,
I guess.
If you put it that way, then I suppose I have to tell you the truth. Otherwise, the terror from the sea will bite me in the ass while I bait.
Of course I can fix it. I've been doing this kind of thing since I could swing a hammer. It's a skill we pass down from master to apprentice, generation to generation. Nothing fancy, just good old blacksmithing. Obviously, though, you'd have to bring me a couple things so that I can actually do it.
Sure, here. 15.
How did you, Oh, forget it. I don't even want to...
Yeah, I have another
Just give me a
400. Well, that's easy.
Here, that should do it.
I was
Do whatever
hoping
you
that
need
was
to
that
if
easy.
you're really sure about this. But please try to come back alive.
Anything I should know?
I have nothing to tell you. I could try to talk you out of it.
We'll
but
do
I'm
this now.
guessing that wouldn't work.
Okay. Let's enjoy a nice little snooze after all that BS that we had to endure. I'm gonna take the easy way. Again, my critique was not aimed at the game being bad or anything. It was just... It was so close to being really, really cool and really good. And letting your character actually have some decisions to be made. But unfortunately, it fell a little short in that. I would have liked to see it be a little better. It's not the only game that happened with, for me, where I just felt like, actually none of this actually absolutely makes sense, you know, if an intelligent person would never go along with this, but sure. Maybe I'm not. Oh, what a beautiful eternal sea. A beautiful gong. Well, let's do a gong. We have been eaten by a sea creature. Huh. You sure they fell into a slumber? Oh, hey, we know you, don't we? No, I don't think so. I thought we did. I thought it was the same statue, or looking same-ish, like the one that transported us out of the asylum and into hell. I'm gonna take the hard way. I'm crazy like that. Well, hello there. I mean, I must be more worthy than the captain, right? At least tell me that. Although that's not hard, again. Okay, we're flying.
Who dares disturb my peace?
Fire.
You made an oath never to summon me again.
Wait, I did? Or is he talking to Arthur? Forgive me, my lord, I want to be deemed worthy to touch Excalibur.
Excalibur, is it really you? You, who come from a time beyond. Show yourself before me.
Who did he mean you were never supposed to summon me again? Do I know you?
It seems he speaks to me. Allow me to answer him.
So you can talk to me in my head.
Welcome, old friend.
I can see that you know me, but I am a mere shadow of my true self. I don't remember you, Lord of the Seas. Forgive me.
That's what you told me, my friend. The next time we see each other,
Okay,
you
that's
will not
interesting.
remember me.
That is interesting. That is really interesting. So he knew this would happen this way. So this was planned? Maybe a Merlin thing? Weird. Very weird.
But you are here now. The will and the power led you back to this place.
I think you mean me. Hello.
Even in this incomplete form.
Where should I look for myself? I wish to restore Avalon to its former glory, yet I don't know how.
Avalon's fate has never rested upon one person alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even one as great as King Arthur.
Okay, the glazing is
Yet
real.
here you are, trying again, restless and eager to take the responsibility again. I salute you, my friend.
It's interesting that they're friends, huh?
Tell me what I must do to be worthy to lead Avalon once more. I do not think I have the strength.
Your path is true. Seek wholeness, and Avalon will reveal what it needs from you. And yes, you need to touch Excalibur.
Thank you, my friend.
Okay, so who is worthy now? Him or me? Or both? I think I'm excluded in this conversation. I don't really like it.
You, mortal.
Okay.
You have given yourself to the king's service. You are worthy of a place among the keepers of the South. Arthur, take out your sword and fear no failure. It is yours to take. It always was. I deem you worthy, my friend. The promise I gave thy mother is fulfilled, and thus our pact is ended. You know where to look for your soul.
Thy mother.
Trust yourself, and when you reach your journey's end, I trust you will make the right choice.
Ah, the foreboding. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So there will be another binary choice, I would assume. Although I would love that to be a bit more of a complex one and not just, oh, it's grey shit and more grey shit. It's not how complex choices look. The Lord of the Seas granted me a blessing that should allow me to take Excalibur. Okay. Arthur has some memory, so let's just convene with him a little bit. Uneven to objects in the way. Yeah, let me do it here. We did it before, Arthur. It's fine. There you go. Let's level up first, real quick. Let's go more spirituality because we are an amazing mage. I guess let's just finish this. I know there was some other stuff I wanted to take, but whatever. Sewell had a lot to say about you.
It was the most painful thing I heard. I didn't know.
If that is actually true, I don't think it was a real betrayal. He might have felt betrayed, but that makes no betrayal. At least not as the only thing.
I had no idea this is what happened to him.
And of course, if his remorse is real, it also enforces the non-betrayal thing. That is an important one. You didn't know? Or you didn't want to know? I don't think as a king it was your job to know. How... I mean... A king is still a human. He's not an omnipotent being. We're not in the... in Egypt, where they were revered as omnipotent beings, as basically gods. Still, that didn't even have anything to do with the truth in Egypt. Definitely doesn't have anything to do in here. So, I think this is the more important question. Or the more important... Yeah, this statement makes no sense. But this is the more important question here.
There were other things that required my attention.
See, that does shine a bad light on you.
We were losing the war. I was needed everywhere.
That makes you more
I
human.
should have paid more attention to what Merlin was doing.
Yes, you should
I
have.
shouldn't have let go.
Yes. But you know, any person, no matter how strong, can only deal with so much. So that makes him actually, you know, appear as more human, because there was just too much and he couldn't concentrate on all of the things, which makes sense. It's still bad, but he also has remorse, so I'm still sus about this guy. I still don't know what to think about him, even if the Lord of the Sea says, yeah, you're the best boy. You're the bestest boy, and you need to do your thing, and your servant needs to help you, which is us, weirdly. You're in the Lord of the Seas, you seem close. Yeah, that is also very interesting.
Yes, it seems we knew each other well during the war, and this proves that I sought allies beyond our own forces.
Mm-hmm. But really that the Lord of the Seas A, cared, and B, I mean, it was a pact, so you gave him something. Which is also, I don't want to know what you gave him, it just makes it worse. But also, why would he care?
And I trusted him enough to carry the knowledge of Excalibur. This must count for something.
Indeed. Still, that was not much that you gave me there, buddy, okay? It's fine. Interesting stuff. I did like this conversation right now, or these two conversations, because they didn't absolve him at all, at the first one. Didn't absolve him at all of his responsibility, but definitely painted him as more human. Which is good. And which is what it should be. And the statement, oh, as king you had to know. Or it was your responsibility to know. I mean, I guess, but, you know, he's not the only person on the island. Still, and that holds true. That as the Lord of the Sea said, Avalon was never just you. There are also other people, but apparently these other people are completely incapable of even shitting. it seems. And that's also weird. That's also not how it should be. I mean, you can't ask the king to wipe your ass either, because that's not what a king does. He should protect you. That's literally the contract, you know. The king has to protect the subjects. That's the feudal contract, and for that you pay him taxes and you are loyal to him. That's it. But apparently he needs to wipe your ass too. It's great. Good thing. Well, let's see if we can do this. First of all, before we do this, we need to keep this... no, that's not what I wanted to do. We need to keep this band on paper. Now, let's see. Ooh. That was close. That was real close. Interesting. Oh, we have Excalibur, the sword on the thing. That looked like this. Just not wavering, not weaving. Look at this, it looks like this. So we can use these once we have done this.
I am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command.
Excalibur, yeah, makes sense. Bind it.
I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
Yeah, I mean, every king's kind of authoritarian tyrant in a way. Oh. Blood bubble. Fun.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No, we can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom, for Avalon. You dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal, but if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom, and you've gotten no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time, and resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
There was something else, but okay. It was a little out of sync, that scene. The Hollow Blade. Lay your hands upon Excalibur and feel the burden of a forgotten something. King's power unlocked. You have gathered a new fragment of Arthur's soul. Unlocking its hidden potential. Open the menu to explore the King's soul skill tree. Or visit a bonfire to develop new abilities. Weirdness power received. But this actually showed something different from what we have learned just before. Yes, he was aware, and he wanted that to stop. And that was definitely not only what was done to Sewell, but that was also what was done here, I think. Or wherever they were doing this. They were sacrificing people to strengthen their druids, their mages, to win on the battlefield. Straight up sacrificing people, which is definitely wrong. But Arthur wanted to stop that, and instead, and that is the problem, at any cost, find something else. So they don't destroy what they wanted to protect. And that, at all costs, will also come back to haunt us and him. But we also heard that the druids were burning people in Wickerman. Maybe that was Merlin's doing. Maybe that is what they did, what they meant here. And Merlin and the druids were blamed, even though it was the king's decision to do so, and then to not do that anymore. Interesting. This I like, because now at least we got a more varying view on things, and it showed even more that things were not as clear cut. And I like that I was right. But also, what's this skill tree? Oh, we got a new one, King Soul. So what do we have here? King Soul. When using King Soul, time slows down. That is the one ability. Killing enemies restores a portion of the King's Soul. Okay. And there are 2 more soul fragments that we will get. When using King's Soul, you deflect all incoming projectiles. If King's Soul is fully charged, automatically use it when you would receive lethal damage. That's good. Dealing damage has a small chance to create a weird essence, which can be collected to regenerate a portion of King's Soul. That's pretty good, because then we can just use it more. Finishers restore 400% more King's Soul. You do a lot of finishers. When using King's Soul, your damage increases by 50% for each enemy killed. That is ridiculous. When using King's Soul, you receive 50% less damage. That's actually pretty good. And that would play well together with this. Okay, that's cool. Is that all active at once? So we slow down time, and when we kill it, when we kill people, we get that back? Already? That is amazing. Also, we're back here, which is awesome. You still okay in there, dude? My king? Yes? Okay. That's nice. I'm gonna, you know, shower in the gunk again. Ah, the black gunk. Loving it. Oh, that's weird. Why would that go down there, huh?
Now, I remember.
What was that? Okay. So you knew all about it.
Before you judge me. It all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then.
Oh, I do believe that.
Trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war. And wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer.
Yep, it's
Only
a war.
the weight of reality pressing down on our necks.
That also shows, though, that the peasants were believing a lie, the noble lie, which is... yeah, it's the usual.
Something had to be done.
There's no honor or nobility on the battlefield.
Everything we fought for would have been in vain.
That's basically... it's basically BattleTech right now. It's the clans fighting the inner sphere and losing miserably, not because of their technology that is far superior, but because they don't know how to wage war. Because they're too much focused on their honor bullshit.
And in the end, the ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it possible. And their deaths gave Merlin the knowledge he needed to finish his work. To find something that could really turn the tide in our favor.
The weirdness. The red death. That would have been amazing. I mean, again, we're arguing from this time, not from back then. And if you're really facing survival, anyone will do whatever it takes. That is just a fact. The ones who don't are the ones who definitely don't survive. Sometimes you even don't survive if you do everything that is possible. But strategically, that was the right decision. Definitely not ethically. Or honorably. Definitely not the right decision. You agree to lie to your people about your role and all this. Yeah, that's also the thing. That's also not good. Do you think it was justified?
Justified? No. Justification is for those who have the luxury of doubt. And I had a kingdom to save.
I mean, if everyone would have been dead, no one could complain now, right? So it's still from a position of luxury that comes from right now. It's not... I don't try to justify any of those actions because they are horrible and they should never happen. But I do understand the strategic decision behind it. Unfortunately.
They were brave men who volunteered their lives, just as they did every time we rode onto the battlefield.
And that's the point, actually, for me. It is not different at all. It is literally the same thing. They vowed to die for him and for Camelot and for the kingdom. And they did. They did never vow how they are supposed to die. They didn't vow that they will all die on the battlefield. Some of them maybe died in their beds when they were old. Still, all of their actions led to that point and hopefully helped the kingdom to survive, which means their vow was valid. And that's what I don't understand. There was no betrayal. They vowed to do this. And if you're a soldier, you're supposed to die. That's what's expected of you. Unfortunate, which is why I don't want to be a soldier ever. Because it's just not great. And this exact sentence is why this betrayal thing makes no sense to me.
The difference was that if Merlin succeeded, one man's sacrifice could have saved us all. Could have ended the war before more blood was spilled.
Now the question is, why wasn't it your sacrifice? Right? That is the real question here. One man doesn't mean you. But as their king and their sworn protector, because that is what a king should do, why wasn't it you? And maybe it was. Maybe we learned that. Maybe that's why he died after the battle. Because he sacrificed himself at that moment. I mean, before that he made himself immortal, which is a different thing, but still.
If sacrificing a few meant the survival of all, then there was no choice at all.
There's always a choice, unfortunately.
Maybe they never saw justice. Maybe their real stories were erased from history. Call it cruelty. Call it madness. But if I'd done nothing, there would be no Avalon left to argue over.
That's exactly my point, yeah. But they do a good job here in this part of the story to at least make it appear this way. We don't know if that is actually what was the thing right now. We just saw a little glimpse of some things, and now we're in this corner. Maybe later we'll learn other things. But at the moment, he's absolutely right. There might have not been an Avalon left that could, that had people in it to argue. So.
But the kingdom still stands. The people live. And that has to mean something.
That could also be just a straw you're grasping right now, because you can't face the facts that you did really gruesome decisions that shouldn't have been made. But also, alternatives. You agreed to lie to your people about your role in all this.
I did. But this wasn't about pride. It wasn't about saving face. It was about survival. The truth about all this would have broken my people. I couldn't allow that. And a king doesn't get to flinch. If that meant carrying the weight alone, so be it. I would make that choice again if I had to.
I think you're positioning yourself into a much more noble position than you should be. So what did he come up with to win the war? That is really interesting now.
I told him to stop the experiments on our men.
And that's good on you.
Going. And he did.
What? I told him to stop the experiments on our men, but to keep going. What? Does that sentence make sense? Shouldn't it be I told him not to stop, but to keep going? But I mean, I think what they mean here is, okay, the experiments had to end, but he still needed to find something. That is what "but to keep going" meant, or means here.
He started experimenting on the Four Dwellers.
Ah!
The enemy.
Now that's also not very honor-proof of you.
If their bodies could be broken down, their power turned against them. Wasn't that their own doing? Wasn't that fair?
No. But it is a way.
So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield.
It can't be the weirdness, because when they started here, the weirdness was already there.
I told him to conquer the weirdness.
Oh,
and
really?
In the end,
yes.
He did.
He didn't make the weirdness out of this, but he learned how he could control the weirdness. Through the Four Dwellers, because they could control the weirdness. What?
He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be.
Huh.
It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours. The bloodshed stopped. The banners were raised. And the kingdom stood safe.
Even victory is nothing positive in a war. Because it's always gained by doing heinous acts. War itself is really the absolute epitome of disgust. Does victory raise the price you paid for it? That's exactly it. And it's not only the price he paid for it, or the price the people paid for it. The price everyone paid for it. Also the enemies.
That's the question, isn't it? I keep thinking about Seawall. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for, and I thought he did. I grieved him. Told myself his sacrifice had meaning, that he had given his life for Avalon.
But unfortunately, he didn't, and lived forever for Avalon, which was apparently worse. Because he would have preferred to be dead. And now he blames Arthur for not being dead, which is also kinda, eh?
And now, after all these years, finding him like this, I told myself I carried the weight of my choices.
And you have no choice in that, you will.
But seeing him, I wonder if I ever truly did.
That is also a good thought. An interesting thought. Why am I here now? That's fine. That's just beef. Interesting stuff. I like this. I like this discussion because it did bring a bit more light on it. It did also make it even less clear-cut. It's all very, very gray area, but in an interesting way at least, and not in a stupid way. This was good.
Seen something you wish you hadn't.
Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right?
Oh, hello, Caradog.
What did it show you this time?
Are you going to kill me again? Merlin and Arthur talking about the ancient experience.
Merlin and his obsession with the weirdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together,
like the Red Priest.
they were willing to tear the world apart to win.
You know more than you're letting on. Can you start making sense?
I was a prototype
finally?
for Merlin's latest idea. Immortality.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Seawall, the king's loyal pawns.
So if you knew about Seawall, why didn't you do anything? That makes you guilty too, in his so-called betrayal.
Used and discarded when they found it.
Actually, I think you betrayed him more than anyone else because you knew it worked.
When they decided to go even deeper into their madness and turn our king into a monster.
Yeah, you didn't end like
Seawall was Merlin's first attempt. I was the last. We could say I was lucky, but to say that would take a truly macabre sense of humor, don't you think?
You were still both lucky. I mean, it worked for you both, but at least you looked the same. The other poor bastard didn't. Did Arthur know what was happening?
Even if he didn't, he should have. He was desperate to win. And desperation doesn't leave room for conscience.
I mean, even if he didn't, he should have. That makes no sense. If he did and he did nothing, yes, that is a problem. If he didn't know anything, how could he know anything? That just makes no sense. There's a disconnect there. He can only know what he was told or what he saw. And if that wasn't including that, I mean, we know that he did know that things were going badly. And he admitted that he should have paid more attention to that and not only to the other shit, which was everything else, but still. This line of argument makes no sense. If he didn't, he should have. It's like that one guy in America who says, even if I'm wrong, I'm right. That's exactly as stupid.
Every scream, every scar. Even if he didn't see it, he allowed it. That's as good as approving it.
Okay. I mean, yes, he did approve it. I mean, it's not as good as approving it. He did approve it. At first. He then said stop with that. But he definitely approved it at first. So, yeah. It's not as good as proving it. It's literally approving it. Why didn't you fight back?
Against who? Merlin? The king? You don't fight gods when you're just a pawn on their board. You endure. You wait. And when the time comes, you either break, or you're left to clean up their mess.
I mean, okay, yeah.
That's what I do. What I've always done.
That's why you want to kill Arthur. I mean, great. Just let me put him back together and then you can murder him. It's fine. Yeah, he said he had to do it or humanity would be lost.
Of course he'd say that.
It's not humanity,
There's always
it's
a
just Avalon.
scapegoat and a convenient excuse for men like him. But it doesn't absolve him.
It's not wrong.
Not when he was the one who unleashed this madness on all of us. He wanted victory, no matter the cost. And when you want something that badly, you stop looking too closely at what's being done in your name.
No, where it started was when they came to Avalon, I think. And that's the thing. This war that they're talking about was a war of their own making because they invaded this land. The Four Dwellers were here first. They were an imperial invasion force. They were hostile colonizers. You know, the really bad shit that humanity did. And that's what they did. And they started this war by coming here. And that was their choice. And that was how he brought this upon everyone. Not because victory no matter the cost. That was then a matter of survival because they had no way back.
And, after all, Who said we were supposed to win this war? Who said we were supposed to survive?
I mean, you're still part of these people, so everyone wants to survive. At one point, one of them has to give. You or the enemy. That is how it goes in a war of survival. What do you mean, clean up their mess?
The monsters, the weirdness.
The part is way too long, by the way. Sorry, guys.
All of it leads back to them.
And I'm not always saying it's the dev's fault that something doesn't make sense. It can also just be the person here speaking that is just an idiot or just, you know, doesn't have all the information or whatever, you know. It's not technically all the devs thing. It can also be just the background of the person makes them say these things in this way. Just, I would have liked in the other, in the former part, before we came here to, I came here again with the captain, to have better choices. That was my gripe with
We're
that.
left in the ruins of their grand plans, trying to uphold their ideals, fighting for what never was.
Just wanted to clear that up. But in the ruins of their grand plans, I mean, after the war, you rebuild, and then everything was first fine, right?
It's time to bury all these fairy tales in a well-deserved grave. And that's what I do.
Sure, but the thing is, you still need something in the end. So do you want people like the captain to spin the narrative and make their own thing and bring up their own authoritarian regime of terror? That's not a difference. In the end, it's the same thing. But you need to have a plan for after. I fully support you with getting rid of Arthur, sure. I don't care. Get rid of the fairy tale, fine. Who cares? Just build something better. Have a plan for building something better. And for being better. I assume you still want something from me? Of course he does.
You've seen what they did. What he did. And that's not the end of the story. It's not the extent of their sins.
And I'm eager to learn it. Let's go.
Find the pieces of his soul. Put him back together, if that's what it takes. And then we, or I alone, if you decide to defy me, can end the cycle. Either way, we will get to his resurrection. I've seen it too many times to believe the cycle will be broken before it happens. But know this.
Okay.
Once he's whole, Arthur's power, his mistakes, and his madness will all return. And when that moment comes, I'll be there. Whether to stand with you or step over you. The choice is yours. Just remember that when that happens, and you stand by his side, there won't be room for both of you.
So he will kill me too? But, okay, so he already spoils the ending in a way. In the end, we will have the choice, stand with Arthur or not. If not, we have to kill this guy. If we stand with him, we probably have to kill Arthur anyway. But if this is how I'm supposed to understand this. But I still don't know if breaking the cycle, if there is actually a cycle. A real cycle, you know, a cycle not just of death and resurrection for Arthur, or a cycle that actually changes the island. Because it could just be the cycle for Arthur, who cares? I don't give a fuck. I mean, we could break it, sure, whatever. But would that actually matter for Avalon itself? For everything that happens on this island? Really? If just the king is dead, who cares? The king was dead for 300 years and it didn't go into a better direction. Right? It actually went worse, so... Does the king actually matter? I don't think it does. From what we've seen so far, I don't think the king matters at all. Literally, like the Lord of the Sea said, it wasn't this one man. It was just all of these people that are actually corrupt idiots. If I'm going to fix this, I need to know where to start. If you think I'll let you decide Arthur's fate, you're wrong. I need to know where to start.
Start? You've already started. But if you want the next piece, head to Kunacht.
Okay.
The menhir there is failing. The weirdness swallowing what's left of the village.
It's only a village, not even a city?
You will need to find another artifact. The shield our king gave to Palamedes. He was one of the king's finest. A voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't save him or his legacy from what they had coming. Find the shield. And then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.
Sorry. I'm actually very interested if my perspective changes. And if I find reason that all of this is actually... Oh, we can't even take Excalibur, okay? We just needed to hold it. If we'll actually find reason to think that this is all... You know, that this cycle is actually affecting the island. Because I've seen no reason for that. Yes, there is a cycle, for sure. And that cycle is Arthur's rebirth. It's also interesting that this is a story about immortality again. I mean, okay. That is part of the saga, actually, but... That Arthur would be immortal in Avalon. But it's an interesting twist on that. But so far we have no indication that that actually has anything to do with... Oh, hello there. Yeah, it's fine. You just explode, buddy, it's cool. And Ogre dead. But we have, in my opinion, I mean, unless I have not seen something or not realized something, we have no indication that any change happened here, or that anything, not any change happened, that would change anything, basically. Oh, that's the cave we haven't been in. Okay, so before we do this, we actually, oops, I don't know what I wanted to do. We actually need to do this. Because that's in that cave that I have forgotten to go into. Crap, so we can't switch the map now, because I don't know if I can come back. I probably can, but... We need to go into this cave first, which I've forgotten like an idiot. Okay. So we'll start next time at this cave. Or should we go Arthur's... Oh, Arthur's Memories could be interesting here. Wait. Let's do that first. The last few minutes. Let's do this. Talk. What do you remember about Merlin?
Merlin saw Avalon for what it was long before the rest of us. He told me that Tintagel wouldn't hold, not forever, that the weirdness would gnaw at our walls, at our minds, at our very bones.
It might have also been a lot of manipulation from Merlin's side.
But he still fought to map a way forward, to carve some sense into this land. And in the end, the land swallowed him whole anyway.
Oh, how did he die?
We were losing the battle at Tuathan's mouth. Our last push before the weirdness took the field. Merlin was with us, bleeding, exhausted, but still weaving his spells.
I mean, what else could he do?
It came. Not a beast. Not a man. Not something we ever had words for. A shadow, wearing 1,000 torn banners, moving like it had no shape of its own. Merlin raised his staff, spoke a name I didn't recognize. And then he was gone. Not killed, not struck down, just gone. Like the land itself had taken him back.
Curious. Because that seems weird, doesn't it? Huh. Why did you leave Excalibur at the horns?
It was supposed to be a reminder. The sword was never just steel. It was a symbol of what we stood for. Strength, justice, the will to carve a path forward. A weapon, yes, but also a promise. I wanted them to remember. To fight for those ideals, to uphold them, even when I was gone, even when there was no king left to lead them.
Okay, interesting stuff. This game is great, I like it. I like this. I think that's the most important one to me right now. I'm not sure how often we get these points. Because there's a lot of stuff, and if everyone has 3, that's, you know, 12 we can't get 12 souls, so we must get these points at certain breakpoints or something. I don't know. I don't need to fuel. I don't need to rest. I'm just gonna stay here, and next time we start right here, and go into that cave, and then go to Kuanacht. So, hope you did enjoy. Tell me your thoughts. Leave me a like. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to sub to YouTube, come to Twitch, come to Discord. And I see you all in the next one. Thank you all for watching. Blub blub, everyone.